to the Natural History Museum Homework Club quiz. My name is Rosie and I'm from the learning team. And this week we are celebrating British Science Week with this quiz with a twist even. We have lots of questions for you, but you don't actually need to know anything. Instead, we're going to be testing your scientific skills. Now, to warm us up, to get us started, if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, you'll see we've got a comments box. We would like you to say hello, tell us your team name that you're playing along with, and a bit of a warm-up question for you. We would like you to tell us the name of any scientist that you heard of before. So that might be a scientist from the past, maybe you've been learning about them in history, or maybe it's a scientist who's making discoveries today, or it could even be somebody you know that works as a scientist. So let us know in the comment box, say hello, let us know your team name and the name of any scientist you've heard of before. Whilst you're doing that, I just want to give a really big shout out to everyone who's taken part in our homework club so far. So we launched in January in response to lockdown learning, and we've been doing lots of different nature themes. We've been to the deep ocean, we've blasted off into space, and of course, we've been talking about dinosaurs as well. And you can see we've got some creations from Arlo, Emily, and Eddie there who've been taking part. So just a huge thank you for everyone that's got involved. So I can see we're getting some scientist names coming in. We've got Darwin. We've got Mary Anning as well. We've even got, some names I don't quite recognize, but lots of scientists popping into the chat there. Keep them coming. So scientists all around the world, no matter if they're studying tiny little atoms or studying great big whales, all have something in common. So we've got Mary Anning come in from an 8-year-old who's playing along as well. So no matter who the scientist is, they have similar things in common, and that is using their scientific skills of looking closely, making observations, coming up with ideas, and also, very importantly, working as a team. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. So we've got lots of questions for you as part of our quiz, but they're going to get you practicing your scientific skills. And these are skills that you would need to take on almost any scientific challenge. So this is a quiz, so you will need pen or a pencil and some paper as well. There's going to be 12 questions for you and 1 point per correct answer. So that's 12 in total at the end of the quiz. And helping us in our quiz today, we are going to be joined by some very special guests. So I'd like to say a big hello to, we've got Herbie joining us, we've got Kat Carnivora joining us, and we've also got Jem Stone joining us as well. You three, you're joining us from the museum's learning team. You'll be helping us today, but let's find out a little bit more about you. So first of all, Herbie, tell us a bit more about what you've been up to.
Hi there, my name is Herbie Gardner, and this week I've been learning some botany. And if you hadn't already guessed, that means studying plants. From the rarest orchid to the spikiest cactus, using my superior scientific skills of observation, I can notice the detail in every leaf and the colour in every petal. I believe this will be a valuable skill today.
Oh, I love it. We're in with the plant puns early on. I love that. I believe you're going to do a very good job too, Herbie Gardner. Next up, let's find out more about Kat. Hello, Kat Carnivora.
Oh, hello, good day. Cat's the name, animals are the game. Over the past week, I have honed my ability to understand animals by studying zoology. As you can see, animals of all species now flock to me and treat me almost as one of their own. When I'm out exploring, I create detailed scientific drawings of the different animals I encounter to keep a record of what I've come across. Here's one I made earlier. I will, without a doubt, be an asset to the team.
Oh, wow, Kat, I love the confidence that you're bringing to this quiz today. Fantastic. And Jem Stone, hello, it's lovely to see you this afternoon.
You're right. Hey, I'm Jems, and I've been doing some geology. I love exploring the earth and looking for evidence that will help me understand how it works. And fossils are some of my favourite evidence. Looking at rocks, you can tell all kinds of things, including finding out about some of the many changes that have happened on our planet and even other planets over time. I'm a little bit of an expert when it comes to looking for evidence. Stick with me.
Oh, amazing, Gemstone. Love that you brought so many rocks to our quiz today. Now, you three, of course, are going to be playing along with the quiz as well. But we did say that this is a quiz with a twist. So at the museum, you might know that we have over 83 million amazing specimens and over 350 scientists. And they look after our specimens and learn about the natural world. And very excitingly, we have a super special, never seen before, exclusive message from one of our scientists, John. So John will be taking you behind the scenes, and we're going to be seeing a specimen that is not on display. It's a specimen that not many people get to see. It is a very bizarre creature. It's so cool. And that message is our prize today as part of the quiz, okay? Now, the twist is that you three, Herbie, Kat, and Gem, it's in your hands. To unlock this prize for everyone watching along at home, it's up to you three to score 10 points in this quiz today. So now that's going to be quite tricky because there's only 12 questions. So we want you three to work together as a team, bring your different skills, and see if you can do it. Are you up for a challenge, you three?
Yes.
Very good. I am so excited. Now, of course, everyone at home, you're going to be playing along as well. So make sure you've got your pen and paper nearby. There's going to be 12 questions. Good luck. And we'll see you three very shortly, because it's time for stage one of our training. Now, stage one is going to be using some of our scientific skills that we would use at the very beginning of a scientific investigation. That is making observations, looking and listening carefully. Now, for question number one, we are going to show you soon a very cool specimen of a frog from the museum's collection. You need to look closely and count how many fingers and toes that this frog has in total. You could even make a prediction before we see it. Do you think it will have the same number of fingers and toes as you? What do you think? But you're only going to have 15 seconds to count. So just to recap before we see it, you're going to count how many fingers and toes this frog has in total. Are you ready? 15 seconds. Let's go. Okay, time is up. Did you manage to count them all? Well, we can reveal that the correct answer for that question was 18 fingers and toes. If you said 18, well done. That is 1 point for you. And no, they don't have the same amount as us. They've got 5 on the back and 4 on the front. So there we go. Well done if you said that. That's first point for you. Okay, moving on to question number 2. This is going to help us share some of these observations that we are making. So here we have another museum specimen. It is very cool indeed. We want you to give 3 adjectives to describe this specimen. And actually for this one, we want you to type them in the chat box. Let us know 3 adjectives to describe this specimen. Now, if you've been learning in English recently, a little bit about adjectives, you'll know that an adjective is a describing word. So we want you to come up with 3 describing words for this specimen here. Now, it can be maybe the colors that you can see, maybe the shapes, anything at all that comes to mind. Let us know in the chat box and I'll try and give some of you a shout out. Whilst you're doing that, I do just want to tell you what this is, because you might be wondering. This is something called an emerald wasp. And these types of wasps actually live quite a gruesome life. They swoop down on other insects, maybe like cockroaches, and they lay their eggs inside that other insect. And those eggs grow and they eventually hatch, and it's pretty gruesome, but very, very cool. So let's reveal some of the adjectives that we came up with before the quiz that you might have thought of. So let's have a look at some of the ones that we were thinking. We had shiny, we had spiky, we had beautiful, we had curly, we had scaly, we had round. So you might have said some of them as well. In fact, I'm going to check the comments box. We've got Rama who says shiny, flying, and stingy. Oh, I like stingy. We've got iridescent, which is a great one. We've got some curly, colourful, springy, bright, One of those parasitic wasps, says Ray. Yep, you're absolutely right. I am loving all of these amazing adjectives come in. If you managed to come up with 3 adjectives, well done. That is 1 point for you. And I just got to read out one more. There's a 5-year-old that says it's got a pointy bottom. You are absolutely right. Well done for that. So that leads us on to question number 3. And this is, in fact, a listening question. So in a moment, you're going to hear the noise of 3 different birds that we might hear in springtime. We're going to hear a great tit, a robin, and a blue tit. Then you're going to hear a 4th mystery bird sound. And it is your job to match the mystery bird sound to one of the ones that we've already heard. So don't worry, you don't need to know anything about these birds. You just need to listen carefully. So first up, let's listen to the noise of the great tit. Okay, so that was the great tit. Next up, we have the robin. And now we have the blue tit. Amazing. So there's our 3. The next one you're going to hear is a mystery bird sound, and you need to match that to one of the ones that we've heard so far. Are you ready? Okay, let's hear it. Can you work it out? Can you match it to one of the ones we already heard? And I can see in the comments, a lot of you hear these sounds outside your window every morning. See if you can identify them next time you hear them. You might be able to work out it's one of these 3. Okay, we are ready for the answer. We can reveal the correct answer is... it was the great tit. Well done if you said that. That is 1 more point for you. Now, question number 4 is a little bit different. We are going to ask you to investigate your own specimen at home. And I'm going to need help in a moment from our 3 amazing team members, because I know there is a specimen that you all have at home with you. I know it sounds a little bit strange, but bear with me. Let's bring back Herbie, let's bring back Kat, and let's bring back Gemstone to help us with this. Oh, they're investigating their specimens. I love to see this. Now, Herbie, you said that you like making observations. Why is it important that scientists take time to look and listen carefully?
Well, science is all about discovering things, and the best way to find out anything is to look, to feel, and even to listen. Now, my plants aren't very noisy, but the patterns, the colours, and the textures all give me valuable information. Just look at the variety here in these beautiful plants. Now, anyone can make observations like this if they concentrate, so why not try it next time you're outdoors?
Absolutely. And we're going to be making some observations here of a specimen that everyone does have at home. Don't worry, I know you've got it. It's your own head. So hopefully you brought that with you. If you haven't, I can't really help you with that one. We're going to be making some observations of our heads by using our fingertips. Okay, so it sounds a bit strange. I need everyone to do this along with me. Even the adults at home, you don't get out this one. I need everyone to start off by touching the top of their nose. Can everyone have a little feel of the top of their nose where it meets your face? Now, it should feel quite strong. It probably doesn't move around very much. And that is because this is made of bone. Now I want you to have a feel of the end of your nose, and I want you to give that a little bit of a wiggle like this. And you'll probably notice that this is a lot more flexible. It's a lot more bendy. It's still quite strong, but it does move around a lot more. And that's because the end of your nose is made of cartilage. Now, your question is, where else on your head do you have cartilage? So I want you to use your fingertips, have a feel of your head. And Herbie, Kat, and Gems, you're not off the hook. I want you to do this too. Have a feel of your head and find something else that feels flexible, feels strong. You can move it around. It's bendy. What do you think it could be? So everyone at home, I hope you're having a feel. Where else on your head do you have something made of cartilage. So Herbie, what do you think you're going to go for this question?
Well, I got a little bit distracted at first and I decided to feel if any of my plants had any cartilage. And although they're flexible and quite strong, they don't feel like my nose. So I'm pretty sure that plants don't have any. But as for actually on my head, the only other flexible and strong part I can feel is my ears. What do Kat and Gems think? Do you think maybe ears? Yeah.
It looks like they're agreeing with you. Okay, well, we can reveal that the correct answer for that question was, in fact, yes, it was the ears. Well done if you said ears. That's 1 point for you. Brings us to the end of stage 1 of your training as junior scientists. So you can now count up your scores. It's out of 4 so far. Let us know in the chat box how you're getting on. But I'd like to find out how our team is getting on, because of course we've got Herbie, we've got Kat, we've got Gems, they're playing along, and it's up to you to unlock our prize at the end. So we need you to get 10 points by the end of the quiz. Did you get off to a good start?
Well, Rosie, I, of course, performed exceptionally there, but credit where it's due. My teammates were also rather helpful. Gems and Herbie did put forward some rather impressive words for the describing question. I was pleasantly surprised. We scored 3 points in total. Quite respectable.
Very respectable indeed. I'm very impressed. Well done. I've also got some amazing scores coming in. We've got 4 out of 4 from Curious Muffin on YouTube. We've got Ralph86 on Facebook, who scored 4 out of 4 as well. We've got Luson, who says, I feel like a scientist, which is great to know as well. We've got Julie on 2 points. Amazing scores coming in. Thank you for sending them in. Do keep letting us know how you're getting on. But well done so far. So that means it is now time to move on to stage 2 of our training. So we'll see you 3 again shortly as we get stuck in to round 2 of our questions. So we used our observation skills in round 1. Round 2 is about recording and measuring. And these are really important to help us remember what we saw, but also make sure that we are accurate. Now, in question 1, I want you to use your imagination. We are going on a Minibeast Safari, and we are going to do a survey of the different butterflies, bees, and spiders that we see. So in a moment, you're going to see a few butterflies, bees, and spiders appear on your screen. And what I'd like you to do is keep a record of the different ones you see. So I just want you to count them. Now, to help you to do that, you might want to make a table, a little bit like the one that we have on the screen there. And as you see them, you can make a tally. So just make a mark on your table for the different ones that we see. Okay, so just to recap, you're going to see some different butterflies, bees, and spiders pop up on your screen. We just want you to count and record how many of each that you see. Okay, so I'll give you a few moments to copy out that table if you want. So we've got butterflies, bees, and spiders. And make sure you're looking carefully and recording as we go. Are you ready? Let's start our Minibeast Safari. Okay, so we've got a butterfly and a bee to start, so mark them down. We've got a few more butterflies and a spider. Oh, there's another spider there as well. Hopefully you're keeping note of these as we go. Another bee there. I love seeing bees. Another butterfly and another bee. Okay, so that was the end of our Minibeast Safari. We saw lots of different butterflies, bees, and spiders there. But how many did we see? So hopefully you managed to record them. We can reveal that the correct answer is 5 butterflies, 3 bees, and 3 spiders. That was tricky, wasn't it? There were lots to see. It was a little bit tricky. Well done if you got that right. If you didn't, you can do your own Minibeast Safari wherever you live. In fact, what we're going to do is pop a link into the chat box. And this is going to take you a little bit later on, if you want to check it out, to a webpage, our webpage, which will help you identify invertebrates and creepy crawlies where you live. So if you want to do your own Minibeast Safari, you can use that link a little bit later on. Okay, so question number 2. We're going to do another survey, but this time we are searching for nighttime birds. So I want you to imagine you are on a nocturnal bird expedition in the jungle. And we want to find out more about a type of owl called the spectacled owl. But because it's nighttime, you can't see them. So instead, we have to listen out for them. Now, luckily, the spectacled owl makes a very distinctive noise. It sounds a little bit like this. So very cool noise. So in a moment, you're going to go on this nighttime safari, and we want you to count and record how many times you hear the spectacled owl. But it's a busy night in the jungle. There are going to be lots of different noises from different animals around. So just count how many times you hear the spectacled owl. Don't get distracted. Now, to remind you what it sounds like, I'll play it one last time. So listen carefully. This is what it sounds like. Okay, very cool noise there. Hopefully you'll be able to listen out. Are you ready for our nighttime safari? Okay. If you want, you can even close your eyes to help you really concentrate on this one. Let's go. Okay, well, it was a very busy night in the jungle, wasn't it? There was lots of different noises, but how many spectacled owl noises did we hear? Okay, we are ready to reveal that the correct answer was, in fact, it was 4. There were 4 spectacled owl calls. Well done if you got that right. That is 1 point for you. Now, for question number 3, we're going to keep on doing a survey, but this time it is about plants. And we love plants at the Natural History Museum. And one of the ways our scientists might study them is using something called a quadrat. Now, we'll show you a picture of a quadrat. There they are. They're quite simple, really. They're just a frame that they put on the ground, and then they count how many different types of plants that they see in that frame. You can see there's a grid on the frame as well. That helps to just divide it into smaller parts when there's lots of things around to count. Now, in a moment, you are going to see a different type of quadrat with some flowers in it. And we want you to count and record how many daisies, dandelions, and buttercups that you see. Okay, now you only need to count each flower once, even if it's in a different, even if it's overlapping in the grid. Count each flower once, but we want you to count how many daisies, how many dandelions, and how many buttercups you see. And of course, it's a quiz. We want to give you a challenge, so we're only going to give you 10 seconds for this one. Are you ready? You might want to make a note or make a tally as you go. All right, let's start. Question 3, let's go. Oh, wow. Time's up already. That wasn't very much time at all, was it? Okay. Whew. Did you manage to count all of the daisies, dandelions, and buttercups? Let's see. We can reveal that the correct answer for question 3 was 4 daisies, 3 dandelions, and no buttercups. Well done if you said that. That is 1 point for you. Now, for our final question in this round, we're actually going to have a go at some scientific drawing. And for this one, we want you to have a think about the life cycle of a frog. You probably know that as frogs grow, they go through a few different stages. They start off as frog spawn, and then they change before they become an adult frog. We've got the life cycle on the screen there, but you can see there is a missing stage. we want you to draw that missing stage. Now, to help us out, you can see before this missing stage, it was frog spawn, or they were eggs. And after this stage, they were froglets. So they've got little legs to help them move around. So what is that missing stage? Your drawing can be super simple. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just think about the shape of its body and how it moves around. Does it have legs to move, or does it move in a different way? Whilst you finish off your drawings, we're going to bring back Herbie, we're going to bring back Kat, and we're going to bring back Gems. Oh, I love that you are making your own drawings there as well. Fantastic. Now, Kat, you said that you really like artistic and scientific drawing. Why do scientists draw?
Well, Rosie, scientific drawing is a great method to use as it involves studying your specimen very carefully. Great artists always say that you should actually look at the thing you're drawing more than you actually look at your paper. By doing this, you'll notice lots of fascinating things that you might have missed before. You don't even have to be especially talented at art to practice this technique, but of course, it doesn't hurt either.
Amazing. I love that technique. Looking at the thing that you're drawing more than you look at the paper. That is a great idea. Now, I want to see what you three have drawn. So I'm going to ask you to reveal your drawings. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look what you three have gone for. Oh, okay. Kat, what do you make of those?
Well, actually, not at all bad, especially for beginners. I think we've all gone for the same thing, haven't we, team? We seem to have drawn a tadpole. You can see we've got the big round body and then the tail as well. So an animal with no legs. That's what we've all drawn.
Well, is it correct? Let's have a look. We can reveal that the correct answer was, in fact, it was a tadpole. Well done if you said tadpole. In fact, well done if you drew a tadpole. It wasn't about saying it this time, was it? It was about drawing it. So the things we were looking out for there was a nice round body and a long tail. So if you managed to draw that, well done. That's 1 point for you. And that brings us to the end of stage 2 of your training. So you can now add up your points. It's out of 8 this time. And let us know in the chat box how you're getting on. And of course, we want to find out how our amazing team in our studio this afternoon are getting on. So Herbie, Kat, and Gems, in round 1, you got 3 points. How did you do in this round?
Herbie's observation skills were super helpful in the Minibeast survey question. So we got it all right. Well, we got 3 points altogether in that round, which brings us so far, I think, to 6.
6 is a very impressive score. Well done, team. Now, we did say to unlock our prize at the end, which is that exclusive message from our scientists, we need 10 points. So that means you need to get 4 points. You need a maximum score in this last round. Do you think you can do that? Everyone at home is counting on you. Fingers crossed. I can see some great scores coming in. We've got Rose on 8 points. Curious Muffin, 8 out of 8 as well. We've got Nigel, who's got 8. Michelle on 7. Julie on 5. Really great scores. Ralph's on 7. These are really brilliant scores. Well done, everyone. That means it's almost time for stage 3, our final stage of your training. So Herbie, Kat, Gems, we'll see you again shortly. But before we start our final stage, I've just got a quick message for our adults watching along at home. You might know that the museum is a charity, and at the moment, our doors are unfortunately closed. So we are very appreciative of any donations, big or small. So if you're enjoying the quiz today, if you are able and if you would like to, you can use the donate button. If you're watching on YouTube, the donate button is somewhere along the side. Or if you're watching on our website, the donate button is along the top. And of course, anything small or great is very well received if you would like to and if you can. But without further ado, let's dive into the final stage of your training as junior scientists. Now, we've done observations, we've been measuring, we've recorded. Now it's time for our ideas and evidence. We're going to be looking for evidence as well. So question number 1 is actually going to get you to combine 2 of your scientific skills so far and merge them together. In a moment, you're going to hear a message from Joe from our learning team. Joe will be describing a mystery animal. We want you to listen carefully to the different features that this mystery animal has on its body, so the different parts of its body. Once you've heard that description, we want you to work out what mystery animal is being described. Listen carefully and we'll give you a few options after you've heard the description. So let's hand over to Joe.
This animal does not have a backbone. It is an invertebrate. It has 8 legs. It has 2 large pincers that it uses for defense and for catching its food. And also, it has a long tail.
Okay, so that was a great description. Let's give you a little bit of inspiration as well. Let's bring up a few options of things that it might have been to help you along there. And actually, what you're doing in this question is using classification skills. You're taking what you heard there, those different features of that animal's body, and trying to group it with other animals that are similar to it. But can you work out what was that mystery animal? Well, we can reveal that the correct answer is... It's in suspense. What is there? We have it. It's a scorpion. Well done. If you said scorpion, it was the long tail that made that one stand out a little bit. That was tricky. Well done. If you said that, that's 1 point for you. Okay, question number 2 is going to get you using and looking for evidence. Here we have 3 different types of animals' feet. We have A with some claws there. B looks a bit like a fin or something like that. And C, maybe a hoof. We want you to match the foot to the habitat. Your 3 different habitats are the ocean, the savanna, which is a bit like grasslands, and the treetops. So which one goes with which? Can you match the foot to the habitat? If you do that very quickly, a bonus challenge for you is, can you work out what animals they are? So at the moment, you're using evidence. You're looking at those different feet and trying to work out which one would be best suited. So well done on you looking and using evidence there. Hopefully you have your answers ready. We can reveal that the correct answer is... So A was the treetops. That was a parrot, yes, with those long claws. B was the ocean, and I was right, that was a flipper, a turtle swimming along. And C was the open savanna. Yep, that is a hoof that actually belongs to a giraffe. So if you got those 3 correct, well done. That is 1 point for you. Now, question number 3, we're going to keep using some evidence. And actually for this one, you're going to take on the role of a museum paleontologist. So that's a scientist that studies fossils. We want you to have a go at identifying our mystery dinosaur skull. So you can see we've measured it. It's about 55 centimeters long. Have a look at those teeth as well. They're quite incredible teeth. They often help us find out a bit more about animals. And in fact, what scientists would do to try and identify this is compare it to some of the specimens that we already have at the museum. So in a moment, we're going to show you a few different dinosaurs that we have. We're going to show you an Allosaurus, an Apatosaurus, a Dromaeosaurus, and an Edmontosaurus. And in fact, we'll try and have a slightly closer look as well. We want you to compare our mystery dinosaur to one of those and see if you can work out which one it is. Now, remember we said it's about 55 centimeters long. So you've got the measurements of those dinosaurs to compare it to. That might help. It might not be exactly the same because, of course, animals grow in size. So at different ages, they might be slightly different sizes, but that might put you in the right direction. Okay, what you're doing right now is actually being a paleontologist. This is exactly what scientists do. They compare new discoveries to things that we already know about to help us learn more. And hopefully you have your answer ready. We can reveal that the correct answer is... It was Allosaurus. Well done. If you said Allosaurus, that is 1 point for you. Okay, it's time for our final question. Wow, doesn't time fly? Now, our final question is actually my favorite. I'm going to enjoy this one. In a moment, we're going to show you a 3D scan of a very cool specimen from the museum. It's from a kite fin shark. We're going to have a look at its teeth. And we want you to generate your own scientific idea. We want you to have a think about why this shark might have so many rows of teeth. So let's have a look at that 3D scan of this amazing specimen. And you'll be able to see that we've got loads of teeth, not just along the front, but also behind it as well. So humans just have one row of teeth. This animal, this kitefin shark, has several rows, loads and loads of them, really, really sharp. We want you to have a think, come up with your own ideas about why this animal might have so many rows of teeth. And in fact, for this one, we want you to write your answers in the chat box. We want to hear what your scientific ideas are. So tell us what you think. Why might the shark have so many rows of teeth? Now, I should say, don't worry about getting the exact same answer that scientists have discovered is perhaps the real reason for this. This is for you to use your imagination and come up with your own scientific idea. Okay. Now, I'd like to find out about what our team in our studio this morning are thinking for this one. So let's bring back Herbie and Kat and Gems. Hello again, you three. Hello again. And Gems, you said that you really enjoy looking for evidence and coming up with ideas. So can you tell us a little bit more about how that works?
Yeah, scientists are always coming up with ideas that we can test. We call these hypotheses. Coming up with an idea is never the end of the story. The next step is to look for more evidence. Then we can test our hypotheses. That is quite exciting, to be honest. It might turn out that my idea didn't really work, but that's part of the process, and we can come up with a new idea to test. Scientists always come up with new ideas, lots, and then they test them and see what they can find out from the evidence. Sometimes it turns out that the evidence supports my idea. It shows that the idea is strong, and then I can look for even more evidence. But going through this process, we come up with some really good, strong scientific ideas.
So it's all about coming up with those ideas to test them and looking for evidence to see if they are strong ideas. I love that. That works really, really nicely. Well, let's have a look at some of the ideas that we're getting in the chat. Nelly says to eat and to bite. That's a great idea. Julie says so they don't fall out. I like the sound of that. Joey, oh, I like this one, says to release water from the shark's mouth whilst they're feeding on prey. What a great idea, Joey. That is a fantastic. Oh, and Gareth says a good idea. Gareth says because there are no dentists in the sea. Yes, Gareth, I really like that. Amazing. So, Gems, what did your team go for? What kind of idea did you come up with?
Well, we had some interesting ideas. I thought animals like this might have scary teeth to frighten away other animals. And I thought the shape of their teeth might have something to do with what they have for dinner. We've got two completely different ideas. Kat, do you want to go on an adventure into the wilderness to see if we can find some more evidence to test our ideas?
I thought you'd never ask, Gems.
I love that we've got our scientists collaborating here, setting up an expedition. Ah, you two are fantastic. Okay, so, well done if you came up with a scientific idea. And I mean, it doesn't matter if it is the right idea. This was all about using your imagination, using your scientific skills to come up with an idea. So well done if you did. That is 1 point for you. And brings us to the end of our questions and the end of our training. So you can now add up all your scores and let us know how you got on. 12 points in total. So let us know in the chat box and I'll give you a shout out if I can. But of course, we are hanging on our team today in the studio. We want to know if Herbie, Kat and Gems were able to secure the 10 points that we need to unlock our exclusive scientist video and find out about that specimen from behind the scenes. So Herbie, Kat and Gems, how did you do in that round? Did you manage to get 10 in the end?
Well, that round was tricky, but Gem's skills with finding and analysing evidence were unbelievable. We did very well and we got 3 points, but that means our total is 9.
9 out of 12. Well, I've got to say, that is an amazing score. And you three today have done a really good job of working together as a scientific team. But we did say we needed 10 points to unlock that scientist video as a prize. So I'm afraid we haven't managed it. I'm afraid we're not going to be able to show it unless you have any other ideas.
Well, I was thinking we have some very talented junior scientists playing along at home. And they've been using their skills today and they've got some great scores. So why don't we add their points to our points?
I love the sound of that. We could be like one giant big team and pull all of our points in together. We can combine all of those different skills. Let's have a look. Let's see some of the scores that we've got. So we've got Hannah, who got 9. Amazing, Hannah. Well done to you. We've got 8 for the victorious volcanologists. Amazing. Abby's got 6. Munshana's got 12 out of 12. Well done. I think that's Anna there. Do you know what? I think if we put all of our points together, we get way over 10. We are able to unlock that prize, that scientist exclusive, never seen before footage. So let's hand it over to John and find out more about that specimen.
Hi everyone, my name's John Adler and I'm Senior Curator in Charge of Mollusks here at the Natural History Museum. Now congratulations on completing the quiz, on using your powers of observation, collecting evidence and working as a team in order to complete your task. And those are just the types of skills that we use here in the museum when looking at collections or doing our own research. Now one of my favourite specimens is the strawberry squid or cockeye squid. And as you can see, they have 2 very different eyes. On one side, they have an eye that protrudes from the head, sticking out, and it has a yellow lens, you can see that. Whereas on the other side, they have a much more normal shaped eye, and it has a blue lens. And what scientists did is they studied these types of creatures, they looked at the structure of the eye and investigated how they live in the water column. And what they worked out is that the yellow eye, the bulbous eye, faces upwards, and this is used to capture the shadow of creatures above, things it might want to eat or things that might want to eat it. Whereas the blue lens is perfect for seeing the flashes of bioluminescence in the deep water from below it. And this is just one way it's evolved to adapt to the environment that it lives in the deep mid-water. And the skills that we use here at the museum don't just need to be used in science, they can be used for whatever you do. So whatever type of challenge you're trying to solve. And I hope that whatever you go on to do, you can use these skills to help complete your challenges. I hope you've had a great day today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of British Science Week. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Wasn't that amazing?
Whoa, what an incredible squid specimen. I would love to study that in more detail.
We combined all of our skills, got to the root of the problem and unlocked the video.
Go team. This British Science Week rocked.
Oh, I'm loving all the science puns that we've managed to squeeze into 35 minutes. Go us. Well done, you 3, and well done to everyone playing along. We've all been brilliant scientists today. And of course, you can keep it going. You can check out our British Science Week activities on the museum webpage. And in fact, you could even go and check out that kite fin shark specimen that we saw earlier. We've put a link to that in the chat box. You could see what else you could discover about it. And you'll take away all of those skills of looking closely, coming up with evidence with you today, and you'll be able to investigate almost anything that you find interesting. Maybe it's plants like Herbie, maybe it's animals like Kat, or maybe it's rock like Gems. You can be a scientist wherever you are. And another scientist skill that you can practice is sharing your discoveries. And in fact, your challenge to take away with you. Why not share your own discoveries with your friends and your families and with us? You can use the hashtag NHM Homework Club or find us at NHM_learn on Twitter. We would love to see what you've been up to. But for now, on behalf of the whole of the museum's learning team, I'd like to say a big thank you for joining us as part of Homework Club. It's been a lot of fun setting you the challenges since January. We hope you enjoy going back to school, and we look forward to seeing you one day again at the museum. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye.